get the recording going, and we are ready to go. So good evening, everyone. Our wonderful inaugural membership for and from the National Women's Political Caucus of Virginia. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm Andrea Miller, and Katie is going, why am I on screen? Well, you're on screen because you're on screen. I'm happy being here in the little screen. All right, so let's see, can I, right, and I can't even spotlight myself, so that's just fine. Did Donna join us by phone or?
I don't think we have Donna yet.
We don't have Donna yet. So what we may do is, I think what we may do is adjust the order of our meeting since so many of you have been here early. It has been really wonderful to watch this organization literally grow from kind of a challenge of, can you really get 30 people to join the National Women's Political Caucus in Virginia? And to number one, see how quickly we accomplished our goal. And number two, to look at the incredible group of people who joined immediately and have continued to join. I am predicting that this organization will be able to do some amazing, amazing things. All right, now I do see Senator McClellan has joined us. So I am bringing her on as a panelist. And I'm going to keep my remarks very, very short. Donna, you've raised your hand. Donna?
Yes.
Yes. Are you Donna Lind or Donna Gransky?
Donna Gransky.
Yes, you raised your hand.
No, I didn't mean to.
Oh.
Katie will show you.
Okay. All right. Fine.
I'm brain dead when it comes to technology.
All right. That's fine. That's fine. Well, it's our very first meeting, so we'll allow that. I thought there was going to be this incredibly deep and wonderful insight that we were going to get. All right. Katie, who do you want me to turn it over to? Well, I guess Evie, I'm going to turn it over.
I think so Jen McClellan has a limited time. So I think
all right.
She's our little surprise guest, everybody. I think our whole crowd all knows Jen McClellan.
I think we all do.
Why don't you give her a few minutes in the agenda today just to welcome everybody and go
all right. Get ready for your spotlight.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you. It's been an amazing day as we celebrate Women's Equality Day. It's been a full day as the General Assembly is in session. And we were on the Senate floor today passing criminal justice reform bills, fighting to help people avoid utility disconnection and evictions as a result of the COVID pandemic. And I'm in between. I had 3 Zooms all tonight, so I'm popping in because I could not miss this meeting. First of all, just to say thank you. And I know you all have been celebrating since February the passage of ERA ratification here in Virginia, us becoming the 38th state. I know we still got a legal fight on our hands, but we would not be here without you. And I think you all, just the work that you did, not just in 2019, but in 2018, going all across the Commonwealth and helping people, people who thought the ERA was already the law, say, no, we still got work to do. And putting faces, faces on a movement and getting multi-generational, multiracial women involved. It's just been amazing to be a part of. And now something told me that when ratification was done, that your work would not be done. Because if there is anything that I have learned, it is you all are an amazing group of women who, well, not just women, there are men too, but you are an amazing group that when you put your mind to something, you get it done. And to know that you are now turning to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing just makes me so excited and happy. And anything that I can do to help you all in this fight for making equality a reality, because even when the ERA is officially in the Constitution, we know that's the beginning and not the end of our work. And as I sit here today, on Women's Equality Day, I think about, my mother, who was among the first generation in her family to vote, and the first member of her family to go beyond the 8th grade. And there's just so many things, we talk about, and we're living through a reckoning with inequality that's intersectional across race and gender and national origin. And it's because of policies put in place when we were shut out of the policy discussion. Now we have seats at the table, but it's not enough. We need more, but we also need to take the table out into the communities. And that's what you're doing. You're making sure that all perspectives and all voices are going to be reflected in the policies that we adopt at the local, state, and national level. And I'm very grateful just to know that you're going to be there. So anything you need me to do, you know how to find me. Katie, I think, has me on speed dial. I think Andrea does too. So just give me a call. I will be there. But tonight, I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we want to say thank you so very much for being our Senate patron. And again, when I think about it, SB1, the first bill for Virginia in the 2020 session, that felt so incredibly good after so many years, decades of being ignored.
Yeah, well, we made sure midnight is when the window opened for us to file bills, and at 12:00.1 we filed that. So
it was brilliant. Well done. Thank you so very much for all your work that you've done and everything that we know you're going to do.
Thank you. Y'all have a good.
Back at you. Take care. Oh, lovely. Isn't it great to have friends? I can't wait to see who else might pop in. All right, let's see. Evie, are you ready? Or Katie, do you want to do something new?
Do we want to keep going with our congratulations from people who are excited to see us getting launched, or do we want to move into the agenda for the night?
I'm flexible. I mean, I am the most flexible person. I cannot wipe the smile off my face. I am having such a good time.
Then why don't we go to Evie, and then we'll have another congratulatory little surprise guest star after Evie's done.
Okay, all right, that works. Evie, get ready for your spotlight.
Oh,
Let's
see.
All right, Evie, it's you. You're up.
Let's see. All right, play. Okay, can y'all see the first slide, Women's Equality Legislative Summit 2020?
Nope, we don't see any slides yet. You're going to need to reshare your screen.
All right. Let's go back to Zoom.
Yeah. Big green button down on the bottom. Share screen. Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yay.
All right. Okay, so the Women's Equality Legislative Summit, for those of y'all who weren't who weren't around when it was hosted, was a first of its kind summit that happened on January 7th, which was the day before the General Assembly opened for business in Richmond this year. So basically it was a couple of hours of patrons of bills and people associated with different bills coming and speaking to advocates and saying, hey, this is what this bill is. This is why we're trying to pass it. Please help us get these bills through the legislature, and these are the ways to advocate. So it was sort of a Bill 101 focused around 8 specific bills. So I'm just going to tell you what the results were so you're not wondering. Of the 8 bills that were featured on the summit, on the Wells Summit, 2 of them passed in their original format, meaning if you go to the website, type in the bill number, you can see that that particular bill passed and was signed by the governor. 4 of the bills were passed in different formats, meaning they were either incorporated into other bills. Those specific bills failed, but another bill with practically the same impact did pass. And 2 of the 8 just failed to pass. So the next 8 slides are literally just talking about each of the 8 bills. So first one, but if you want to know like more details about the summit itself, you can go to VA-ratify-ERA.org and January 7th summit and look up that. Okay, so first bill, House Bill 8, was addressing the school to prison pipeline. Basically, there is a misdemeanor that was being used to target school kids for being rambunctious at school. And the proposal of House Bill 8 was to basically just get rid of this misdemeanor of disorderly conduct in public places, and say this can't apply to anything on K through 12 school property, because it was being used to charge children with misdemeanors for, frankly, normal kid behavior. So this particular bill did not pass in its original format. It was incorporated into House Bill 256 in the House committee. And House Bill 256 did pass the legislature. So this is one where it passed in a different format, but it essentially passed. So yay. Yes. All right, so that's House Bill 8. Next one is House Bill 286. So House Bill 286 is, it basically was intended to raise the felony theft threshold in Virginia. Used to be that if you stole something in the 70s, you might be prosecuted as a theft misdemeanor for it, for that particular theft. But thanks to inflation, you steal the same thing in 2020 and you get charged with a felony for it. Just because the felony theft threshold didn't rise through the decades as inflation rose. So there was kind of a scattershot technique. 4 different legislators filed 4 different bills targeting the felony theft threshold this year. House Bill 286 raised it to $1,500. There were 3 other bills. One of them raised it to $750. One raised it to $1,000. This one raised it to $1,500, and the 4th one raised it to $2,000. So when the House committee met, they basically had their pick of these 4 bills. The one that they, the favorite of the 4 was not House Bill 286, it was House Bill 995, which raised the threshold to 1,000, but 1,000 is still a lot better than 500. So it passed the legislature. So again, it didn't pass in this original, in the original bill format, but I'm chalking this up as a win. Awesome. Next one. So House Bill 338 was basically saying domestic workers are not exempt from minimum wage requirements. You have to pay them whatever the prevailing minimum wage is for their work. It's obviously a women's work issue because most domestic workers are women. So House Bill 338 specifically was continued to 2021, basically put on the back burner. It failed this year, but Senate Bill 804 did pass this year. Senate Bill 804 required domestic workers to be paid at least minimum wage. So since it passed the 2020 legislature, I'm counting this one as a win. Fun fact, Senate Bill 804 was chief patroned by Senator Jennifer McClellan. So yay, McClellan came through for us. All right, so that is the third one. Fourth one is House Bill 804, requiring schools provide menstrual supplies in the bathrooms of K through 12 school buildings. Yeah, it passed. So yeah, pretty simple though. All right, House Bill 652. This one was aimed at reforming our cash bail system. This particular one would say, hey, if you're charged with a misdemeanor and it's a nonviolent one, don't charge cash to release folks from prison while they're waiting for their trial. This particular bill was continued to 2021, and all other bail reform bills were continued to 2021. So basically, the General Assembly ran out of time for, you know, there's only 60 days in a session. There was only 60 days in this particular session when they, you know, basically all the bail bills were just put off until next year. So this was one of them. So it was a failure because no other bill addressing bail reform did pass this year. So next year we'll be addressing that. Next year, actually, this same bill will be coming back because it was continued to 2021. Therefore, it will be heard in committee next year. Senate Bill 50 basically expands the definition of racial discrimination in Virginia to explicitly clarify that if you discriminate against women's or men's natural hair texture, hair type, whether or not you're wearing dreadlocks, whether or not you're wearing traditional twists, that is racial discrimination. So this Senate Bill 50 actually came from a national movement to sorry, it actually came from a national movement to decriminalize Black women's hair. It started in California. As of now, Virginia is the 7th state to have passed this anti-hairstyle discrimination bill. So we are definitely, you know, we are on the we're one of the first states to have passed this, but it passed unanimously through the Senate. It passed by a very large percentage in the House. Not really a controversial bill, but every time you hear a story about someone with dreadlocks getting fired from their job for looking unprofessional, or a school child with braids getting sent home from school for having an inappropriate hairstyle, that's what this bill is intended to address. So pretty simple bill, pretty non-controversial. Senate Bill 76 was basically a red flag law bill. It was one of the original package of anti-gun violence bills that the governor was pushing for. So Senator Janet Howell, who was the chief patron of this bill, actually asked that it be stricken and withdrawn because there was a more comprehensive Senate bill that she was more in favor of. My notes for this particular bill literally just says, ask Lisa Sales if you have any questions. So if you have any questions, ask Lisa. I don't really understand all the technicalities, but Senate Bill 479 did pass this year. So I'm counting that one as a win. And last one, Senate Bill 231 basically eliminates the sales tax on menstrual supplies. Virginia is one of the states that do tax tampons, pads, menstrual cups, other menstrual supplies, even though Virginia doesn't apply sales tax to medical supplies like bandages. Well, so Senate Bill 231 did pass the Senate. It made it all the way over to the House Appropriations Committee that have to approve bills that would have a budget impact. In this case, because we'd be collecting less taxes from the sales of menstrual supplies, it had to be approved by the Appropriations Committee in both the Senate and the House. It passed the Senate Finance Committee. It died in the House Appropriations Committee for, I think, the 2nd year in a row. So boo, hiss. It'll be back next year because Senator Voisko, the chief patron of this bill, this is the 2nd time it's died in the House Appropriations Committee. She didn't give up the first time. I highly doubt she's going to give up now. So that is the last one.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Evie. All right. Katie, I'm going to kick it back to you. We were looking at doing some possible videos.
Yes, thank you very much. We have another virtual guest this time because she is unable to drop in at exactly the right minute. We have a video from Abigail Spanberger.
Congratulations on launching the National Women's Political Caucus. Thank you for all the work that your members have done before the inception of this group to help get women elected, to advocate for issues that matter, to pass the ERA in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And thank you for all that you will do to ensure that we are adding to the ranks of women in positions of advocacy and activism and legislating and governing. So thank you so much for all that you're doing. I'm so excited about the advent of this organization, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Excellent. And I have one other really fun video, so hold on. If Spanberger is not your congresswoman, maybe this one is.
Hi, everyone. I want to begin by congratulating all of you on kicking off the National Women's Political Caucus of Virginia. We've made some serious progress here in the Commonwealth to get more women into elected office, from our local school boards and boards of supervisors to the General Assembly, and of course in Congress, where I am proud to alongside my two Virginia sisters, Abigail Spanberger and Elaine Luria. When I first was elected to the state Senate in 2014, I was one of the only women with school-age kids there. But now we have more moms than ever serving in Richmond, a historically diverse United States Congress, and I know that Virginia is going to make history once again when we help elect our first woman Vice President, Kamala Harris, this November. More women serving in office translates into the policies that we fight for and believe in. I'm proud that in my first term in the House, we've passed bills to guarantee equal pay for equal work, invest in childcare, and finally bring the ERA to the brink of becoming the law of the land. But this progress didn't happen by accident. Behind every woman that's won elected office is a whole army of women organizers, campaign volunteers, and activist groups. I am so grateful to all the women helped power my race in 2018 and are back again to help with my re-election campaign. Virginia Ratify ERA has been such a huge part of the transformation we've seen here in the Commonwealth. You were there with me at the state Senate when I carried the legislation to ratify the ERA in Virginia, and when I presided over the House debate as we voted to eliminate the deadline for ratification. I could not be more excited to see this trailblazing work continue through the NWPC. Congratulations again on this new beginning and on all of the progress you've fought for and won over the years. I'm excited to continue that fight with you this November and in the future. Thanks so much.
Yes. Oh. Oh, absolutely delightful. I'm quickly scanning to see if any of our other surprised guests have made it. I don't see them yet. All right. Then, Holly, are you ready to take us into the next major piece of business we have tonight, the report from the nominating committee?
Greetings from Shenandoah County. I'm Holly Huddle. It's an honor to be here tonight with all of you. I'm representing the nominating committee, and I'm here to announce the leadership slate. Working on the nominating committee has been a highlight of 2020. This experience has fostered excitement for what the National Women's Political Caucus already is and what our Virginia chapter can become. We have 4 regional representatives. Teal is Tidewater, yellow, Northern Virginia, light purple, Central Virginia, dark purple, west, Southwest Virginia. Northern Virginia, Karen Camplin. Karen is the Environmental and Climate Justice Chair for the Virginia State Conference NAACP and the co-director of the Green New Deal Virginia Coalition. Karen provides resources and support to local communities to address environmental injustices, promotes efforts to improve quality of life and health, and advocates for transformative policy and program changes. West Southwest, Deb Snar. Deb has always worked to secure access to quality healthcare for vulnerable populations. As a nurse practitioner, her work has included HIV care, working as a wound care specialist, and teaching. She started a health education and outreach program serving older adults and has worked to provide care to young women in family planning and prenatal clinics. To celebrate turning 65, Deb spent 65 days solo hiking the Appalachian Trail. The trail name given to her by other hikers, Generosity. Central Virginia, Katie Hornung. Having led the VA Ratify ERA campaign, Katie now leads Vote Equality US. She brought together groups of women who had never worked together before. Her determination to correct the historical exclusion of women from our Constitution is infectious. Many have grown into stronger advocates for important issues while working with Katie. Tidewater representative, Catherine Anson. Catherine began her career serving in the Consolidated Base Personnel Office for the Air Force. She joined for the GI Bill, but found out she loved it. Determined to get a degree, she took approximately 15 years of night school classes to achieve her goal. Following 6 years in the Air Force, she raised 2 children and worked as the Director of Human Resources at a rubber manufacturing plant in Houston, Texas. Catherine always manages to fit political activity into her life and is currently the treasurer of the Suffolk County Democrats. In our inaugural year, officers to be elected for a 1-year term. After 2020, these will be 2-year terms. Membership, development, endorsements, policy. Membership, Johanna Guzman. Johanna is a mixed race legal scholar focusing on the intersectionality of gender and law. She has worked around the globe with the World Health Organization. Last year, her experiences led her to run for the 87th House District. After her campaign ended, she was hired by the Elizabeth Warren Virginia campaign. Johanna brings her proven ability to network across Virginia. Development, Jess Kuyala. Jess, who volunteered with AmeriCorps and taught English in Thailand, is a first grade teacher. After the birth of her second child, she felt the true depth of the inequalities that exist in our society. When the VA Ratify ERA bus came to town, Jess jumped on board. She led outreach to student communities in Virginia for the Ice Cream for Equality tour and was an organizer for Celebrate 38. Endorsements, Candy Graham. Candy has been involved with campaigns in Virginia since 2010. Her work includes VA Ratify ERA, Women Matter, and the Virginia Democratic Women's Caucus. She also served as a member of the 7th Congressional District Central Committee. Members of organizations with which Candy have been affiliated know her for her calm voice of reason. When appropriate, she will get fired up for a cause, but she works to see all sides and hear all opinions. As we look to endorse candidates, Candy brings an optimism that we need as we face the future. Policy, Tanja Roberts Brooks. Tanja is the Outreach Director for Vote Equality US. She has volunteered as a voter protection advocate for over 15 years, serving as an inside poll observer. As a lawyer, her passion is advocating for human rights to include immigration rights, particularly family reunification, quality education for all, and safe housing opportunities, especially for veterans. Officers to be elected for 2-year terms: records, finance, communications, presidents. Note, extended biographies for our slate of officers can be found at the link. Records, Lori Buckwald. A leadership role in Pathways for Radford, a community project building bikeway walkways, launched Lori's political career. Over the last 20 years, she has served on Radford City Council, founded Elect Women of Southwest Virginia, and has been appointed to several state boards, including the Democratic Women's Caucus. The need to improve access to health care for women and their families was a main motivation for Lori's 2015 run for the 12th House District. She's a women's health and family nurse practitioner and an advocate for the women of Southwest Virginia. Finance, Robin Warner. In 2017, Robin co-founded Postcards for Virginia and worked as part of a team that launched Network Nova's annual Women's Summit, serving as the event director ever since. Robin is familiar with campaign finance laws and brings experience as a small business owner. Robin remarked that the NWPC-VA mission read like the focus of her life over the past 4 years. Communications, Jennifer Gaylor. Jennifer is a marketing and social media consultant. She's on the social media team for Vote Equality US and serves as board president of the SPCA for Winchester, Frederick, and Clark counties. Jennifer believes our government should reflect our citizenry. Women have been underrepresented for far too long. As a mother, she wants all children to begin their adult lives knowing they have the same right to exist and opportunity to thrive as anyone else. President, Krista Jones. Krista joined the Peace Corps and served in Paraguay. She worked with democracy building in the former dictatorship. Her work focused on starting student governments and working on a radio station to increase transparency. In 2006, she founded Virginia Leadership Institute, Vote, Lead, Impact, to increase African American participation in the political process. For the past 14 years, she has gained experience building political power within different communities and working on campaigns. Krista hosts a radio and TV show on Arlington Independent Media and authors a column in Arlington Now. Krista attended the convention online. She points to the National Women's Political Caucus focus on issues, grassroots engagement, and preparing women of different political backgrounds to lead as qualifications that differentiate NWPC from other women's political organizations. Main issues such as reproductive choice, the ERA, child care, and elder care have reached new stages in our society. It will take a renewed effort to finish the fight. Krista brings experience lobbying and working with elected officials, skills needed to lead on these issues for the National Political Women's Caucus of Virginia. All members have 1 week to vote. Please look for details in an email on the 27th.
I'm going to just grab a point of personal privilege as the outgoing president to say it is so exciting to see this amazing group of women, to Holly and Stare. And I just cannot think of all the other women who worked, the other Andreas, and to Yvonne, all the people who worked on the nominating committee and spent all that time. Thank you so very much. I am so thrilled and delighted. It's almost like watching your child grow up and get in their own car that they bought with their own money and head off to college. Thank you all so much.
Pleasure.
All right. Now, Jane, are you ready for your spotlight?
As soon as I unmute, I'm ready.
And there you are.
Good. Welcome. I don't have slides, and I certainly didn't think you wanted to read the bylaws tonight, so I'll just tell you a little bit of background. When we started out on this mission, we did not find a boilerplate provided by National. We did get our hands on several states' caucuses bylaws, and they were quite different from each other. So it was really anything we wanted. So we found that our main goal was to make sure that we created an organization that served the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. And so you saw tonight the slate of officers that included regional representatives and officers from all over the state. We recognize that the first set of bylaws was a draft. You had some opportunity to review and comment, and we've incorporated comments into the new version, which is found at the link on that email that you received today. So we're asking you, when the voting comes around, to have looked at that and to support it. We understand that with any new organization, a year from now, we're going to wish the bylaws said some other things. And they can be amended, and the method for amendment is in the last section of the bylaws. You'll also see that the bylaws refer to something called standing rules. We've outlined a set of standing rules, and those are the more detailed operating procedures, but we really wanted your help in developing them. So as we have new leadership from an elected board, and we have committees formed, we want those committees to help develop the operating procedures for their sections and document it for their sections of the standing rules. We've got a good start with the nominating committee since they've been very active already. And so we are just going to add to that and go ahead and vote on that sometime next year. Just a few other administrative activities. We have thus far, as of today, 89 members, a few more than 30 that were required. We are, under the Commonwealth of Virginia, we have a certificate of incorporation, so we are officially an organization according to the state. We are also in good with the IRS in that we have our EIN number, and they know that we're operating as a 501c4 organization. And I actually even filed tax form 990N for 2019. So we've taken that first step to make us look official, and we are official, but there's a long way to go from here. So I commend everyone who was nominated tonight and everyone who is present and everyone who couldn't make tonight because they were celebrating Women's Equality Day somewhere else. Thank you. If there are any questions, we can handle those at the end.
I see a hand raised, so let me take that question. I will ask you to unmute. And Catherine, go ahead and ask your question. Well, unmute first. Nope. Apparently, that might have been another accidental hand raised. You can also put your question in the chat. I'm looking at it. If there are any questions. All right, wonderful. Katie, any closing remarks?
No, I am really excited to switch over to a room where we can all see each other and watch the Face the Music for our kind of happy hour, late night happy hour. It's fun to see everybody's names and stuff in the chat, but it'll be really great to just kind of get out where we can all just mix and mingle a little bit more and chat. And Andrea has a link for us. I'm going to put it into the chat for those of you who are online and would like to kind of continue the party in a room where we can all see each other and chat a little bit more. Sorry, these are the things that we learn as we go is maybe we didn't need a webinar. Maybe we really wanted to just all be together as one. But we'll switch over to that. So that link is there. Just go ahead and grab it. Andrea, is there any password or anything on that link? Or do you just have to add people in from the room?
Well, because it's literally you're going to a whole nother room. Actually, let me take a look at that room. I think I popped the password out. Let me take one quick look at it. That it's, let's see, it's just us. Or let me use the full formal link. Yeah, there is a password. So let's just do the whole thing with the password all on one thing. So now it's one big ugly link.
So go ahead and grab that, kind of copy it and put it somewhere. And what we're going to do is when we finish here, we will all switch over to that and we can watch Face the Music over there. And oh, we're getting that link also doesn't work. It may be that we have to.
We have to, when you're in one room, you can't immediately go into the other. Do you want me to pull the password off? I'm logged into Zoom, so I can kill the password, make it simpler. All right, I'm going to need to save this. And then this will just work. The original link will work now because it will be the link without a password. All right, yes. And so once we leave this room, I have the other room set up so we can just go right in. There's no waiting room. You'll be able to just click on that link and make sure you copy it and go into that room.
I don't know. I thought Zoom is requiring either a password or a waiting room, one of the two now, no?
It does, but on a recurring meeting, you can turn it off and it doesn't notice.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, until it busts on that. If we lose everybody and it all totally bombs out, I will send an email within minutes with a fresh link. So we'll, and actually maybe what we can do is have somebody go over and check this link and then come back and tell us that everything's cool. Maybe, let's see, we have a good, Andrea Weber, can you take your name, can you go out of this one and check for us and then come back and tell us if it works or not? Thank you. All right, so we will give her a minute to go check all of that, and then assuming that works, we can switch all over. And again, sorry for the growing pains and learning experiences. I keep telling my kids that this is how we grow. It's through our mistakes that we get to our best places. So hopefully that's gonna apply here too.
Yeah, and that was weird. It really didn't like that I took off its password. It's kind of mad at me now. So this will be
that's
interesting. Yeah, it was like, oops.
Try. see here.
All
Okay,
right.
Carol says she left the tried the link and couldn't get in. Let's try it with a path. Well, actually, the other thing, let me just put out one of mine because then we're not even worried about one.
All right,
versus
then
the
it's
other.
a whole nother room. See, all of these are rooms on my account. So it's happy to jump to a whole nother account, but we are going to need to leave this room. So,
All right.
Katie, while you're doing that, I am going to close us out. So as Katie said, you will be getting an email where there will be an opportunity to vote for an incredible, awesome new leadership for the National Women's Political Caucus of Virginia. We will be so excited to see all the new work and all the new things that this amazing group of leaders is able to introduce in their coming term. So thank you all for joining with us. And Yvonne Lewis has said, look, this is my 5th meeting and I'm zoomed out. So we do understand that. Hopefully everybody will be able to join the new room. All right, people said if I give the meeting ID, Katie's going to do that. So Katie's got her own room that isn't connected to all my accounts. So I think it will like that a lot better.
So we hope. It's not letting me into the chat for some bizarre reason right now. I think it doesn't like that I just logged onto my Zoom while I'm on the Zoom. It's just Zoom is angry with us tonight.
Yes. Well, you know what I'm going.
I'm going to send this. I've got the link in my copy. Jennifer Gaylor, I'm sending this to you through a text. Can you take that link and add it into the chat here? I don't know why it won't let me do that.
Zoom really is having its moments tonight. It's having fun with us. I'm not having fun with it. Whatever.
It's letting me type in chat again. Okay, so there's the link. That should work. Everybody, we're gonna stop recording. We're gonna close out the meeting. I'll close out the meeting first and stop the recording, and then we'll meet over there for the after party.
All right. And I am stopping the recording. All right, the recording should be going off now. All right, let me try the keyboard control. There we go. There we go. Got it. No, still recording. Zoom really is having a horrible time tonight. Okay, well, I'm going to say, let's just go visit that other room, have a party. Stop. Nope, it is not stopping. All right, well, that's a new Zoom experience for me. The recording won't stop. So, all right, people are saying, what is the link?
It's right. I just put it in again. And Carol, I did text it to you, so.
All right.
Tammy, are you able to see that? Let me make it so that you can talk.
Yeah.
Eileen, I'll send it to you.
All right, I'm sending it to Eileen. I got it. All right, there it is. All right, I emailed it to you, Eileen. That way it'll be on your computer and you can just click on it. All right, Katie passed host to me, and then you can head over to the other room, and then I will stay with this one until our last guest moves over.
All Alrighty, I will see
Thank
you
you.
there. Bye.
Bye. All right. All right, Krista, Lori, hopefully you will join us in Katie's room. Rick, I am sending you the link. I am emailing it to you. There we are. Okay, excellent. And Rex and Melissa, hopefully you've seen the link. You can copy it, paste it into a new browser window, and then head on over to the party. And this thing will not stop.